If you've ever applied to college, picked a major, or decided on a career path, you've probably heard the exact same piece of advice from parents and teachers. Make sure you have something to fall back on. Get a degree, secure a backup plan, build a safety net. But the concept of a safety net has a hidden cost. When you spend your time preparing a soft place to land, you are actively anticipating a fail. You're accepting failure as a likely outcome before you even take your first step. As Nelson Mandela pointed out, there is no passion to be found playing small. Settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living guarantees that you'll never discover what you can actually achieve. If you want to find out what you're truly capable of, you have to cut the net. If a fall is inevitable, you shouldn't fall backward into comfort. You want to fall forward. At least that way, you'll see exactly what you're going to hit. Falling forward means treating a loss not as a final destination, but as directional momentum. Every time you miss the mark, you are gathering critical new information about the terrain ahead of you. Take the classic 9-dot puzzle. You have 9 dots arranged in a square, and you have to connect all of them using 4 straight lines without lifting your pencil. It is mathematically impossible to solve unless you draw outside the initial boundaries of the dots. Operating entirely within the lines of what is safe and expected guarantees a standard, limited outcome. To connect the pieces, you have to go outside the box. We often look at those at the top and only see the success. What we don't see is the massive, staggering volume of consecutive failures required to build that success. Look at Reggie Jackson. He is remembered as one of the greatest power hitters in baseball history. But he actually holds the all-time historic record for the most strikeouts in the sport's history, 2,600 of them. We edit the highlight reels of our heroes to remove the friction. The public remembers the home runs, while the thousands of swings and misses that made them possible vanish from the record. Or consider Thomas Edison. During his effort to invent a practical incandescent light, he conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Every misstep functioned as data. Edison systematically eliminated the materials and designs that failed until the 1,001st attempt finally lit up the room. Mistakes are the mechanical requirement for progress. They provide the specific feedback needed to move from a 1.8 GPA to a global stage. This process of elimination is how we navigate our own lives. A successful career is almost never a straight, predictable path from A to B. When Denzel Washington first enrolled at Fordham University as a pre-med student, he took a class called cardiac morphogenesis and realized he couldn't even spell it, let alone major in it. His academic wandering hit rock bottom when his grades sank to a 1.8 GPA, prompting the university to politely suggest he take some time off. Even when he finally found acting, the missteps continued. Early in his career, he auditioned for a role in a Broadway musical, only to realize in the room that he had absolutely no ability to sing. He bombed the audition, but his response to that rejection is the critical piece. He didn't activate a safety net or quit the business. He simply walked out of the theater and immediately started preparing for his next audition. Without a clear focus or an academic map, these repeated rejections provide the only reliable compass available. They redirect you toward the one path you haven't yet tried. If you choose to rely entirely on a safety net, you have to weigh that comfort against a heavy consequence at the end of the road. Imagine yourself in your final moments, lying on your deathbed. Around your bed are the ghosts of the ideas, the dreams, and the talents given to you that you never acted on. These are the manifestations of unfulfilled potential, the ideas you never acted on, and the talents you suppressed because the safety net felt more secure. These figures are angry and deeply disappointed. They came to you because you were the only one who could have brought them to life. Now they must go to the grave alongside you. It forces a very direct question. When your time eventually comes, how many ghosts are going to be standing around your bed? The embarrassment of a bad grade or a blown audition is temporary. The irreversible tragedy of leaving your capabilities on the table is permanent. You avoid that regret by staying in the arena. In March of 1975, at his lowest point, a 20-year-old Denzel Washington was sitting in his mother's beauty shop when a woman looked at him and delivered a prophecy. She told him that despite his current struggles, he was going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. 30 years of relentless iteration later, he had achieved exactly that. He even booked a starring role in the massive Broadway play Fences. The venue was the Court Theater, the exact same building where he had totally bombed that musical audition 3 decades prior. Whether you have money, patience, kindness, or raw talent, the world is currently in desperate need of what you can offer. But those gifts do no one good if you keep them locked in a safe box. Having the training and the talent to succeed means nothing if you don't have the guts to fail. So abandon the safety net, take the risk, and whatever you decide to do, fall forward.